Hey, what's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to all the gamers out there. Welcome to another BRAP Rant Basement Radio Arcade podcast. I haven't done a rant in quite some time, but wanted to do a quick rant because of some things that I've seen on the Twitters. As you know, I will on occasion do social commentary on what I see on Twitter, and I do plan on kind of broadening my BRAP rants into covering such topics as politics, yes, politics, sports, men's health, relationships, and sex. See, and so this is going to be something I'm going to be trying, just because I kind of want to add a different variety and different flavor of topics to what we typically talk about on Basement Radio Arcade. As you guys know, we primarily are a gaming podcast, but why not? Figured, hey, let's spicing things up. Yeah, let's make a spicy meatball, and let's kind of see what happens. Um, so you're gonna adjust my volume here. Yeah, if you guys haven't done a BRAP rant or have listened to one of them in the past, a lot of this stuff is really off the cuff. I don't really. Um, I do some note taking, but I primarily just kind of shoot off the hip and give people my thoughts on things. And and I will step away on occasion. By the way, been known to do this. Been known to step away to grab a nice cold beer because I like to. Hey, look, I like gaming. I like my beer. I like my IPAs. I like those things. Like to enjoy those things. You only live once, so do enjoy a glass of red wine. Although I don't drink wine while I podcast. But hey, I've been known to get up, so you will hear me say, "Hey, I am getting up to grab a beverage." You'll hear a pause, but don't leave. I'll be back shortly, unless God forbid something terrible happens to me. But anyhow, so again, I want to talk about. Let's turn my volume up again here. All right. So I wanted to talk about something that I saw more recently on the Twitters yesterday, as a matter of fact. As we know, the much anticipated Crackdown 3 is coming out soon. Will be launched day-to-day release on Game Pass, which I'll probably give it a shot. Why not? I mean, I'll check it out, see what it's like. It's not. I did play the first Crackdown, never played the second one. Just didn't have any interest in the second one, really. The first one I played because of the you got it as part of the, I think it was the Halo 3, if I'm not mistaken, pre-order bonus or something or the other. I think I don't remember, such a such a long time ago. Let me check here, guys. I'm having some issues with my headsets for some reason. It's never a good thing. All right, let's see here, guys. Sorry, guys, I have a little bit of technical difficulties here. All right, let's see here. All right, all right. Sorry, guys, just gotta adjust the settings here. I'm just having some every once in a while. If you've used Google Hangouts, you know that it can be, yeah, can have its challenges. So, yeah, let me see here. I just sent some invites out earlier too, because I might have some special guests pop in. Excuse me. All right. Oh shit. Let's see what's going on here. All right, everyone. Hey, big shout out to Mr. Glass. OBJ to Don. What's going on, man? OBJ to Don says, from what I'm seeing, it looks like IGN is being nice. Wow. Okay. All right. So look, I believe that it's okay to have a difference of opinions. I think we all do. None of us really always agree on one thing or another. At times we do agree on things, but there's something that's been missing from, I would say, from the Twitterverse. I think it's that ability to have a disagreement with someone without totally just flaming them. Totally just letting them have it. And I talk about this. I've talked about this before, like civil discord. Whatever happened to civil discord? Whatever happened for us to have the ability to be like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. I don't agree with this guy, but you know what? I'm going to listen to his excuse me, his opinion. Losing my voice. Yeah, I don't know why Chief told me that said my said I was going live in 2 hours. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Google's acting up, man. So that's funny. So whatever happened to civil discord? Look, none of us have the same taste in gaming or like the same franchises, but and I don't mean to call anyone out to be disrespectful or to insult anyone. I'm not about that life. That's just not me. Like I gotta say, like, so big shout out to Boomstick XL of Double Barrel Gaming. Boom is a great ambassador of the community, really nice guy. He put out some his thoughts on what he felt about IGN's coverage of uh of Crackdown 3. And he was given a hard time. I mean, for what he said. And people that like don't even follow him or like he doesn't really talk to, basically kind of came after him. And like that's not cool. It's not cool. It's not a we can all look, we can all agree to disagree, it's fine. I think we can have constructive criticism. Look, OBJ Don and I do not agree on game streaming. And we went back and forth on the Scumcast last Saturday. And OBJ, you remember we went back and forth. Excuse me. But at the end of the day, I wasn't like flaming OBJ. I wasn't name calling him. We didn't agree, but that's okay. We don't have to agree, but we can share our opinions in a way that's respectful um, to both parties involved in the conversation. And then that seems to be missing. And um, yeah, OBJ says, "LOL." Yeah, and look, OBJ, man, I got a lot of appreciation for you, respect for you, and look, we don't see eye to eye on the future gaming, but that's fine. But we didn't handle that conversation in a way where it got disrespectful because it doesn't need to get disrespectful. And I just think it's unfortunate that in gaming, something as trivial as gaming, something that's supposed to be fun, people get so worked up emotionally that they feel the need to defend and not just be defensive, but also insult or try to minimize the person um, to minimize the impact of whatever it is they're saying, and it's just got to stop. And so I just excuse me. I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but I've talked about this quite a few times. Chief told me, says no, he's not. He said I sounded like a child crying when I gave my opinion on the subject. Who was being disrespectful to you, Chief? Tell me, I'd be interested. I don't know who you're referring to. Hey, Ryan Landis, thank you, man. I appreciate it. By the way, again, everyone, thank you for getting us to 1,000 subs. It really means a lot. Look, we when I started Basement Radio Arcade podcast, I wanted to start a podcast that it just embraced all gamers. Whether you were a PlayStation fan, a Nintendo fan, an Xbox fan. We didn't want to be one of those podcasts that were kind of pretty much following the herd, if you will. Hey, Chief. Yeah, Chief. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I don't know what he said. I'd have to go back and look. It does look. It doesn't. I'm not saying it didn't happen. It doesn't sound like he would do that. But if he did, I'm really sorry to hear that, man. You know, I mean, I don't see. And if he did say that to you, Chief, I don't agree with that. Like child crying, I don't. I'll go check it out, man. But I don't agree with that because, and it does seem a little bit out of character for him. But again, I'm not saying it didn't happen. It just seems out of character. I'll go check the Twitter timeline. But when I started BRAP, we didn't want to start a channel that was following that had that herd mentality. We didn't want that. We wanted to be something different. Everybody was like at the time, everyone's doing like an Xbox podcast or a PlayStation podcast, and it's just not. It wasn't our thing. We wanted to talk about video games. We wanted to give you our opinions, our what we felt were our honest opinions. We didn't want to follow the same old narrative and tropes that were out there with. I think there's a lot of bandwagoning. I think at the time with biased media and us versus them, and I just felt like it was very divisive and not very productive. And so that's kind of the premise behind BRAP. But anyway, we finally got to 1,000 subs. So I want to thank each and every one of you, especially my panel of guests, B Money, I should say guests, my co-hosts, my panel members, B Money, Eric Jackson, Gaming Forte, and Slow Mo Backslap. And all the other ex co-hosts that we had, Lemieux 66, Mamacita, no, I'm forgetting some, Sam Tolbert, and Mr. Negative, Al the Drunk Cat, the Alcoholocaust. Yeah, I just want to thank all you guys. Seriously, it means a lot that we're finally here at 1,000 subs. A long time coming. But anyhow, so and again, this rant isn't to pick anyone. I want to address something, and not to particularly pick on Boom, um, but I think the conversation kind of started. OBJ Dedon says, if you demand better, you're a hater. Well, I'll be a hater then. Yeah, I agree with that, man. He says it's very so Boom, and again, this is not any disrespect to Boom, not to pick on him because I'm not doing that. So please don't take anyone that way. I have a lot of respect for the guy, good dude, but I don't respect. Um, I don't necessarily agree with what he said, and that's fine. We don't have to agree. Him and I both acknowledge that we don't agree with the whole media bias thing, and I don't agree. Like, okay, guys, like this whole media bias thing. I don't think like that IGN and Ryan McCaffrey and Destin Legary get together and say, hey, you know what, guys? Let's let's get together as a group and think about how we can fuck Microsoft. They got this new game coming out, Crackdown 3. Let's let's think about ways we can not give that game a chance. Now, I think some people really believe that that's what's happening behind the scenes. But I mean, just think about how ridiculous that sounds. You guys really think that IGN, the GameStop or GameSpot, that they collectively get together and say, you know what? Let's think about ways that we can screw Crackdown 3 over. Guys, if you notice a trend, and this is just look back at history. If you notice a trend, if a game is good, you'll see a general consensus and praise of a game. If a game is bad, you'll see a general consensus of a game being bad. Every once in a while, we see those splits where some of the reviewers liked it, other reviewers didn't. Chief Tommy says, "Doesn't Ryan like Xbox?" Yes, Ryan does like Xbox. Ryan doesn't have anything against Xbox. I guess it's a look. You can like something that's, and if someone, this is the thing I understand. It's okay to like something that's not perfect. You know, Crackdown 3 may not be a perfect game. Look, I liked Rise. Rise I enjoyed it. It wasn't a perfect game. The story could have been a little bit better. Hey, what's up? What's up, Monkey Punch? Good to see you in the live chat, man. By the way, everyone hit that like button. We got 22 people, 23 people watching. Should be 23 likes. Come on, let's get those likes up. Monkey Punch says Ryan doesn't know how to play games. That's all. And I disagree with that because, um, Punch. There's certain people. Look, Ryan may be strong in other genres, um, outside of shooters, or there's other gamers that are stronger in shooters than they are in racers. No, I've very rarely met gamers that are that are that are masters of all genres. And Ryan's been playing video games a long time. I follow and see, this is the thing, and this is why I don't agree with your comment, Monkey Punch. Ryan has been playing video games, not for more than 20 years, but he actually started at the official Xbox magazine out of college 17 years ago. So he's been doing this for 17 years. And so I've seen that criticism. Oh, well, he wasn't playing the game right. I don't know, guys. Call me crazy. I watched a video with him and Dustin Legary. They seem to be playing Crackdown 3 okay. I mean, they I didn't see anything that would lead me to believe that they were having issues playing the game. But I do want to go back to this tweet. It's very sad that Crackdown 3 is not going to be given a chance. Thankfully, I'm a huge fan. I'm stoked that it's coming out on the 15th. Um, and then if the tweet before that was, if you want to see an honest and positive review of Crackdown 3 from a professional like the hacks at IGN, click this link below. And then, of course, how it starts happening, the piling on. One guy responded, I think IGN and some outlets may have just killed another Xbox franchise today. Just like they killed Rise, Quantum Break. Now watch the Sony fanboys and the Xbox click happy YouTubers follow suit and just pound the game until it's dead. I got to be honest with you. That comment right there, that response is the most disillusional comment that I've ever read. Could it just come down to the fact that maybe that these games aren't that good? That Rise wasn't a good game? That Quantum Break wasn't a good game? People, did it ever strike you that maybe something you like isn't something that the majority of people like? Or that there isn't a consensus that this game is good? You know, sometimes, like Chief Tommy says, people hated Duke Nukem, but I loved it. Even though it had many issues, I'm not going to get mad if someone says it sucks. I understand the vast majority thinks it's trash. That's, Chief, that's a perfect example. And so the problem with this ideology, this insight, or this idea of what's the media that's killing these games, it isn't the media's job to sell good games or to promote games. It's the media job to give opinions on. You got to remember, reviews and previews consist of opinion on the gamer's perspective of their own experience and some facts, meaning that there's certain aspects of a game that are in fact not subjective. For example, long load times, frame rate issues, screen tearing. Those things are not subjective. Those things are, in reality, measurable things that you can see, things that are facts. And look, I'm not, again, people are going to be like, oh, he's bashing Microsoft. No, I'm not bashing Microsoft. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it honest. I'm keeping it honest because I don't like this ideology or this narrative of, well, if it's not getting praised, it's because there's a media conspiracy to kill it. No, there's proof that contradicts that. Forza, Horizon, across the board, the media loves that damn game. I don't like it. I don't care for it. It's not my thing. Gears of War 4 received great reviews. Halo 5 received good reviews. Cuphead received good reviews. When you put out good content, you typically see that there's a consensus that this game is good. And that isn't anything new. That is from The time that I've been playing video games, 35 years till this year, nothing's changed. So I guess, I don't agree with this idea that somehow IGN's not giving Crackdown 3 a chance. It's not it's not necessarily their job to sell this game or to put this game on a pedestal. It is if it's good, but if it's not good, if they're not enjoying it, they shouldn't lie about it. And they're not lying about it if they don't think it's good. If you think it's good and they think it's bad, at the end of the day, it's a difference of opinion. It doesn't mean that your opinion's wrong or that IGN's opinion's wrong. It just means that you guys have a different of opinions. So this idea to I feel like a lot of the times the community is like if you don't agree with, you know, um, if you don't like, Rise, then you guys are if you don't like Rise, then that means you must be trying to kill the game before release. I mean, I think about how ridiculous that sounds. If you step outside the box and apply logic to this, think about how ridiculous that sounds. I go back to media bias. Media bias. I want you guys to ask yourself something. Do you really think Ryan McCaffrey and Destin Legary, you know, sit at their desk and think about, hey, Destin, hey, buddy, let's think about how we're gonna fuck Microsoft today. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. I've talked to Ryan McCaffrey. I've had him on this podcast. Ryan is a good dude. Talk to Ryan behind the scenes. Loves gaming. Guy's fucking passionate, man. Passionate for gaming. And people out here hating on what Ryan McCaffrey and Destin Legary said because they don't agree with your point of view in a game. If you like the fucking game, like it. Who cares? It's all that matters at the end of the day. You don't need Destin or Ryan to purchase, validate the game that you're buying. If you like it, like it. Chief Tomei loved Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem was considered trash by most gamers, by most game reviews. Monkey Punch says, Enrique, you think people are trying to trash the game before release? Look, I think there's fanboys that are trying to trash the game. Absolutely, there's fanboys, but the problem is that people when people get it's like people get so defensive when someone levies an honest criticism of a game. They assume that person is trying to destroy a game. Oh no, they said, and this is another example of like people getting upset over criticism with Crackdown 3. I think look, this is what I say, Monkey. Monkey says, "True, Ricky, buy what you like." If you don't like what IGN's saying, hey, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Go to a channel, go to a website that you feel aligns with your point of views, and that's it. Let me tell you something. And people are like, "Oh, Enrique, you're so soft in media." I've had people tell me that. No, it's not necessarily it's that I'm soft. It's that it almost seems like there's certain segments of the community that have turned so against the media because they feel like the media has attacked unfairly Microsoft. But look, guys, I mean, we go back to 2013. I've beaten this dead horse so many fucking times. They laid an egg. Microsoft didn't put out a good product. We saw the same conversation and narrative last console generation. Sony fanboys saying the media was biased. And I've shown you guys press clippings and links to press headlines about the PlayStation 3 last gen. Excuse me. And look, and this is what I do, and when I go to media sites, I never go to one media site and say, this is it. I agree with their opinion 110%. I say, you know what? Okay, I can see that. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I'll take that into consideration. I'm going to go to another site. I'm going to go to another site and see what this site says. Yeah, because at the end of the day, look, I don't want to spend $60 on a piece of trash game that I'm not going to like. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like setting my money on fire. I got fucking 4 kids. Let me tell you, the 2-year-old's the ringleader. She's the ringleader. Anyhow, so back to hey, what's up, B Money? Meant to give a shout out to B Money's in live chat, listening to us on the road. Appreciate it, B. Yeah, so there's a criticism out there, and I know me and the BRAP guys have talked about in DM. There's this criticism that that the game looks like a 360 game. And I don't see anything wrong with that criticism. I have not been excuse me, the multiplayer footage that I've seen has not been overly impressive for me for Crackdown 3. Am I going to try the game? Yeah, I'll try because I have Game Pass. Why not, right? One of the reasons why I have Game Pass is to try games. But yeah, there's this idea out there or this narrative that people are, saying, "Oh, well, what do you expect? It's Crackdown. What do you expect for it to look like?" Okay. So you're telling me, as a consumer, I've spent $500, actually more than that. I've spent about $1,000 on Xboxes because I got the Xbox One at launch and got the Xbox One X. And with the X, we anticipate better graphics, things like that, because of the power, the X. And I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation as a consumer if you're being told by a company that, hey, this is the most powerful system. It's the best place to experience games. And excuse me. Sorry guys, I'm trying to lose my voice a little. I'm trying to read the live chat too at the same time. Monkey Punch says, Enrique, I think Microsoft made this game because it had so much development time. You need to finish it and will not see Crackdown again. I don't know. I mean, I think part of it, they really wanted to showcase the cloud. And who knows if we'll see another Crackdown again. But my point is, with the criticism of Crackdown 3 and its visuals, and I'll say this, I don't I don't think there's anything wrong saying, hey, you know what? I think like this game looks like a 360 game. Why? And it's okay to question that. But I'll never understand this idea of, well, what do you expect? It's Crackdown. Okay. So we shouldn't expect games on more advanced hardware to look better? Is that what we're saying? I'm confused by that. Big shout out to my man Slow Mo Backslap who said to me, Enrique, and I'll use Slow Mo's quotes. That's like, and because I asked, we Slow Mo and I and some of the other folks in BRAP, the other co-hosts, we talked about this a little bit. And when I when I mentioned it about the this pushback that people are giving and saying, well, what do you expect? It's Crackdown, and people as a response to people saying that the game that looks like a last gen game. Slomo says, Enrique, that's like saying an IP can never look better because of art direction. I think Slomo brings up a good point. Regardless of it being cell shaded, regardless of its cartoony, artistic direction, how many other games have we seen that use cell shading um, that look better than their predecessors? I can tell you that Jet Set Radio Future looks better than Jet Set Radio. I can tell you that Gravity Rush 2 looks better than Gravity Rush. I mean, I just don't. The issue I have with defending stuff like this, and I feel like people are defending a game where, look, if it looks like a 360 game, it looks like a 360 game. Don't defend that. We should never defend. And look, and how expensive this hobby is, we should always expect the best. We should never defend studios for putting out unfinished products, for putting out products that don't work, for products that aren't improved. Like we should never settle for that. I mean, think about this, guys. Think about how much money you guys spend in gaming. Mikey says Crackdown was always cell shaded. That's how it was made. Yeah, I understand that. But my point is, there's other games that are cell shaded that look better than their predecessors. You go back to the days of Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio Future looks better than Jet Set Radio. You want a more recent example? Gravity Rush 2 looks better than Gravity Rush. I don't see a big improvement from last gen to this gen. And why is it crazy to expect that when you have a bump in hardware? So I went back and I looked at IGN's video, and people made a big deal because they didn't remember that they were playing Warzone. Oh, they forgot the name. Oh my god, I fucking forgot the name. Like, they're so unprofessional. I mean, if they were praising the game, would you have said the same thing? Probably not. Does it matter that they forgot what game mode they were playing? No. Why do I mean, think about it. I mean, for me, them forgetting doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have a different experience. They could have said we're playing Warzone and still provided the same feedback. It's a moot point. It's nitpicking. Yeah, that's my opinion. I mean, I don't know. This is just, it's just unfortunate. Like and I think if you're happy about this game, like, I don't even understand why you need to poo-poo over what IGN or GameSpot said. GameSpot is actually the one that said they felt like it looked like a 360 game, and people lost their minds. Chief Tommy says cell shading, right? So why does Borderlands look better than a 2019 game? Some guy says forgetting the game mode gives the impression that you don't care about the game to begin with. Could also mean that maybe the game didn't impress you that much either. Maybe the game was so bad you forgot what the fuck you're playing. Digital Tiger says we're going to ignore that the fact that enemies on Anthem are disappearing. Digital Tiger, I am not going to talk about Anthem right now, but I will say this. So I'm gonna go back to true what true some guy said about them forgetting the name of the game mode they were playing makes it seem like they don't care. Um, the problem is that the consensus is that if you look at what IGN said, what some other websites have said, a game is not wowing people, especially that the multiplayer cloud mode. We for such a long time we heard about the power of cloud, and I got to be honest with you. And I've looked at different gameplay videos. I'm not impressed with the destructible environments. When Ryan said it looks like cardboard and it lacks weight, I haven't played the game, but I can see the cardboard thing because the structures look like blocks. So it just I look, guys. I don't. From what I've seen, and again, I think it's okay. You could see something and say, you know what, based on what I've seen so far, this doesn't appeal to me, or this does appeal to me. It's okay to say those things, but the problem is that people get so defensive. Monkey punches that are not dumb. Let's see. He says they're not dumb, and if it was Call of Duty, they would know the mode. You don't know that, Punch. I mean, you're making an assumption, man. And this is the other thing. A lot of us don't know the rationale. We're all speculating why they forgot the game mode, and now we're speculating that we're saying, well, if they was Call of Duty, they would know. You don't know that. You don't know that because it hasn't happened. We can Punch. We can make that assumption all day that they would forget Call of Duty game mode. They might have. You don't know that. They may have hopped in Call of Duty and said, you know what? This is some repetitive bullshit. And look, I'm sorry, the game looks a little lackluster. Particle effects look cool. I think the single player probably looks better than the multiplayer. But everything that I've seen from the multiplayer, I'm not impressed. I feel like it's. I mean, it's like. I mean, when I saw the game at Comic Con, I was like, this game's fucked. This game is not looking good. And look, I don't want the game to fail. And I'm not saying that if you like it, then it's a bad thing. If you like it, it's your thing. Cool. Play the shit out of it. Enjoy it. That's great. But I'm not going to go out and I'm not buying Crackdown 3. Gaming Forte says the game is dead DOA. Come on, Forte. You don't know that, man. Yeah, again, guys, I just don't think, honestly, I think IGN at the end of the day was just giving their honest opinion on Crackdown 3, and that's it. I didn't see anything I read the article, I watched the video. I didn't think they were playing it incorrectly. And it's funny, like this whole console gen, I've kept hearing this narrative of, oh, well, anytime there's an Xbox exclusive, the media beats it up. And it's not true. The problem is that Microsoft hasn't put out good content. And if you don't believe me, look at the reviews. When they put out good content, like Halo, like Gears, like Forza, look at the reviews. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not like we don't have something to guide us with. And look, if you liked previous versions of Crackdown, you're probably gonna like down. You're probably gonna like Crackdown. Excuse me. You're probably gonna like Crackdown. And that's fine. The one thing I liked about Crackdown 1 was at the time it was kind of addictive. Collecting the orbs and stuff. But you got to remember something. I mean, when you're playing video games too, it's like, and you see a game, and this is when I see, like, okay, and B Money, I see the live chat. B Money, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but let me know your thoughts on this too, B. But the thing is, when you put out a game like this, and again, my first inclination thought seeing Crackdown 3 was, yeah, it did look like a last gen game, and that's because of games that I played recently, because of all the games that I played this generation, and fair or not, when you have all this fucking content that's great that's come out and that's coming out, you're going to compare it. You're going to benchmark it. You're going to benchmark these new releases against other titles that you've played. We talked about the art direction of Crackdown. Talked about it being cell shaded, and people act like cell shaded games can't look improved from one generation to another. I don't know about you guys. Kingdom Hearts 3 looks better than Kingdom Hearts 2. But I will say this: my thoughts on Crackdown 3 outside the multiplayer. The single player is probably what looks the best to me. Chief Tommy says Ryan showed his best game in Wrecking Zone, and it wasn't bad. He understood why there's destructible buildings. He just wanted more environmental effects on players and better building destruction. Yeah, and Ryan also explained that he's like, hey, when I'm told that the cloud is like, having 12 Xbox Ones running it, and you're gonna have this really immersive like environment, or this environment with lots of destruction and impact to the game and how you play it, and he's not feeling it. Of course, he's going to be like, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" The simplest way to put it is this: if I tell Chief Tomei, Chief, I'm going to make this fucking great steak and cheese. It's great, and I give Chief Tomei a steak and cheese minus a cheese and a moldy bread. He's like, "What the fuck? It's not what you told me. It's not what I thought I was going to experience." Maybe that's a bad analogy, but you get the point. I don't know what Manny's referring to. The Power Four. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Power Four Titans. Some somebody did say that actually. Some Somebody on a YouTube channel said that. It's like the Power of Four Titans. Yeah, guys. I just it's just unfortunate. I hate seeing this stuff. When it becomes Punch. I think you got what I was trying to say, Punch. But here's the thing. Look, I want to point out, Punch and I don't agree. I don't think we agree, Punch, on everything with IGN's coverage on Crackdown so far. I don't think we. I could be wrong, Monkey Punch, but I don't think we agree. But I respect the dude, and that's the thing. Like, this is. I hope we get to a point. Maybe I'm a hopeless visionary, but I just hope that one day we can all agree. Just they agree to disagree. It ain't that serious as video games. Somebody in the live chat brought up Anthem about Enemy AI disappearing. Yeah, that's an issue. Look, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to trash this game yet. You know, but I do have some concerns being this close to release. I tried to hop on this morning and I got dropped from a game. There's some good core. I can't even talk. There's some good core gameplay mechanics with Anthem. I'll say that. In my opinion, I'll say that. I think that there's a good foundation there, but there's some issues. Look, and I think that someone Digital Tiger says as the Microsoft Cloud done anything right. I mean, I this is they were having issues with development in the cloud and getting it to work, which is one of the reasons why the game was delayed. Look, I think like any new technology, this is probably just the tip of the iceberg with Crackdown 3. I think as we as developers get more familiarize themselves with it, we'll probably see better uses of it. But I'm not going to say that cloud is shit because of one game. I can't make that judgment. Personally, I can't make that judgment until I can see what other games have utilized it. Cloud says, no, Enrique, you were very honest. I try to be, man. I try to be honest. Drink some water. No, dude, I'm drinking beer. Punch, I'm drinking beer. I'm not drinking water. Come on, people. Let's get that like count up. I got 28 people watching and 16 likes. Do I gotta start giving out video games? If we get to 29 likes, I'll give a free copy of a game away. Manny says sometimes playing against some of the AI in Anthem feels like you're fighting Ghost. That's true. That is true. Again, dude, I'm not going to bury this game because I haven't played the final retail version. It's in beta. Gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, but I do have some concerns. I do definitely have some concerns, guys. Don't call me Dan. Said, did someone say free game? Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. By the way, people, I'm gonna go back to people getting upset about Ryan McCaffrey for getting Warzone when he's playing. Wrecking Zone. He does mention it in by name in his write up. And he explains that Microsoft Senior Creative Director Joseph Staten told him that the reason why they did Crackdown 3 is because of the cloud. So look, guys, if you guys like this game, again, I'm going to repeat this. It's like a broken record. It's cool. Have fun. Play it. But if people are offering legitimate criticisms, they're not trolling, but they're saying, hey, you know what? I don't know about this game. I, concerns about, the cloud or how visually it looks or the locking mechanism. I heard someone say, oh, well, no one's complaining about the locking system in Red Dead Redemption 2, but they have a problem with it in Crackdown 3. Huh? Again, these things exist in a spectrum. It's not always a one-to-one comparison. You know what really fucking the one thing that really gets on my nerves is when people do that. If there's anything that really gets under my skins when people make comments like that. It's like, no, it's not the same thing. Like someone made the comment the other day, oh, people are upset that Gronkowski said 69, used the sexually term 69 in the press conference in the NFL, but The Rock can say something to The Rock, the professional wrestler, can say something to Lydia Anderson if she wants to taste The Rock's cream pie or something. I don't know. Something like that, right? And I'm thinking to myself, it's not an apples. It's not a one-on-one comparison. Not, I mean, that's the one thing that really fucking irks me. You know, it's not always an apples and apples thing. I mean, it's not. It's just sometimes just. I don't know. Yeah, Punch. We got to play some Anthem, man. We'll definitely do that, man. Like I said, I was on this morning, and I couldn't get back on again because I couldn't connect back to the server. I was in actually, I was having fun. I was playing a game with a bunch of randoms and blowing up shit, and I love the particle effects, by the way, in that game. But it's blowing shit up, and game looks beautiful. So yeah, it's a good looking game. But God, I hope this game does well for BioWare's sake. I have this inherent fear that BioWare is somehow going to be like, if this game doesn't do well, they're going to shut down BioWare. D249 says, I think that Crackdown was meant to sell the cloud, not the other way around. People hyped the game up, so they got stuck with making Crackdown a major thing. D-Truth, that's actually the reason why Crackdown 3 was developed. Joseph Staten wanted I think it was Joseph Staten who actually made the recommendation to Phil Spencer when they were thinking about what kind of game they could build using cloud. I believe it was Joseph who said, "Hey, Crackdown 3." Earliest 78 says Anthem runs better on PS4 Pro than Xbox One X. Yeah, that's kind of surprising to me. But we'll see. I mean, honestly, I don't have anything like I don't like if it does or doesn't, I don't care. I find it fascinating that it does right now. Considering that the Pro is a is not as powerful as the Xbox One X, but I mean, shit, who knows? I mean, maybe that changes after retail, maybe doesn't. Either way, I really don't care. To be frank, I don't. It wouldn't bother me if the PS4 Pro version ran better. Yeah, I would find it fascinating from a technical standpoint how that happened, but does it ruin the game for me? Does it matter? No. That's a good but by the way, D-Truth, that was actually a great point that you brought up, man. Punch says 21 likes, need 8 to get a free game. Huh? Might not happen. I might have to go play some Anthem soon. All right, let's see. I'm trying to look at some other Crackdown use.
Why ain't you playing no Anthem, man?
What's up, Forte? Why are you wearing that Patriots hat, man?
Oh, because tomorrow's the big day.
Oh, man. You're killing me, man.
Tomorrow's the big day.
Tomorrow's the big day?
Tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow we either bask in the sunlight of everybody else's despair, or we go home and say we're used to winning so much that it really doesn't matter. Win-win situation for us. Win-win situation for us Patriot fans.
I'll say this much, man. Even if you guys lose, he's still GOAT.
He's still GOAT. No change. Nothing changes.
I mean, because think about it. It's not easy to go back to that many Super Bowls. I mean, shit. I mean, even if you lose them, it's still not. It's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. It's the hardest thing to do.
Not at all. There he is. What's the hardest thing to do?
Yeah, I don't like him, Forte, but we've talked about that. We talked about.
That's because you've been saddled with people like Kirk Cousins and I mean RG3. RG3 was good, but he acted like he couldn't slide.
Yeah, I was never. I got to be honest with you. When they drafted, because they drafted Kirk Cousins the same year they drafted RG3. Yeah, so when they drafted,
because once they didn't believe in him.
No, because come on, you talk about Mike Shanahan? The guy was around with Joe Montana, Steve Young, right?
Right.
You don't think he knows quarterbacks? He knew
No.
RG3 wasn't the truth.
Well, no. Well, let's not go too far. RG3 was really freaking good. He just didn't know how to slide. That's all. He didn't know how
I
to
don't
slide.
know, man. I don't. I mean,
Dude,
he.
the dude was one throw away from going to the to the championship game, bro.
I mean, he was. Oh, man,
When
he.
the last time? Wait, hold on. When the last time your team been close to the championship game?
1999.
And when's the last time since RG3 was one throw away from it getting back to it?
Never.
Exactly. So that lets me know that a rookie, if he knew how to slide, would have got y'all to the championship game.
He
He
had.
actually should have got y'all to the championship game that year. Y'all kind of got a boat call in the end zone, but that neither. We're not gonna really talk about that.
We should have beat the Seahawks.
Y'all should have beat the Seahawks.
Yeah. No, he RG3 had a good game. I mean, he had a good season. But
Yeah,
you're right.
he
He
stuck
couldn't.
with the squad.
He messed up his knee. He was never the same. But I don't think. I also don't think the coaches were confident in him, his
No, the
ability
coaches weren't.
uh,
Coaches
to
weren't. I agree
to
with that.
to read the playbooks and to kind of adapt to more of a drop back passer. But that's just not. That's not. That was never his. That was never going to be his. Strong suit like in the NFL. It's not. It's not. It's
It's
not what he
never going to
was.
be his forte. You basically saying?
Yeah, not be his forte.
Yeah, it will be his forte. I agree. All right, yeah. Well, Super Bowl tomorrow. So this stuff you talking like you
Yeah.
saying, are you so you believe Crackdown was gonna actually be something?
Look, man. I never look. I didn't have.
You played the game and knew it wasn't gonna be good.
I didn't think it was gonna be that good, man. I mean, I
I know you
even
did.
even even Comic Con, man. When we saw the Comic Con stuff, I was like, what?
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you something. This is why I know. This is what I knew. This game was just Microsoft. I guarantee you, Microsoft wanted to cancel this game, but they couldn't because it would have been more shit if they would have canceled it versus the game just coming out. Why you ain't see no marketing for this game, dude? The game comes out in 2 weeks and we ain't see no marketing for the game. That lets me know that Microsoft says, "Hey, we're just gonna push this thing out the door." And the fact that it's in Game Pass, people are going to see it because it's going to get its own organic marketing just from that alone. But for us to actually push this thing and actually put more money into this game that we don't want to, we're just going to let this game release. And I don't know why people are expecting anything else from this game. If you love Crackdown, you're just going to love Crackdown. If you have never played one, then this game isn't going to make you want to run out and love the franchise and buy the other two previous ones. I mean, if you play from what I saw of the gameplay, if you play Crackdown 1, you kind of play Crackdown 3. It just looks a lot better. I mean, in some instances, it just looks better, prettier, HDR, 4K textures. So I mean that's even available with 4K textures. But I just think everybody's either way overreacting to the situation, or people are just talking about the game and bashing it, and they never had a even opportunity or even thought about even buying this game. So we already knew this was gonna happen when Crackdown came out. So this ain't nothing new.
But
Reviews.
let me ask you, Forte. Do you think IGN is being too harsh?
No, I think they're just doing what the hell they normally do. Okay. Let me ask you this: when did we really start believing that people that work at IGN are like the godsends of anything that comes around with gaming? Just because they put pen to paper or write on a computer and talk about video games, when did we think that these people are real gamers?
I mean, I look, I have never held gaming media to a point where they are the last word for me. They
Right.
are a source of information.
Yep.
If I don't know something, I'll read it. If I don't agree with what the source is saying, I'll go to another source
Right.
and I'll say, so and so is saying this, so and so is saying that. What does that mean? When I take all those things together, what does that mean for me as a consumer?
Right.
And for me, it's not like it's. I feel like people it's like this ride or die shit. Like, yo, if they're not gonna rock full Xbox and praise Xbox 24/7, then fuck them. It's
Right.
just like, oh, wait, that's not their job though. Their job
Right.
isn't to sell consoles. Their job isn't to prop up games. Their job is just hey, here are our thoughts on this, this, and this. Now you take that information, you digest it, and you do with it what you want.
I mean, dude, most of these people don't even play on the Xbox. You know, most of them play on platforms. Like they may play on Xboxes when they're at their job, when they have to do reviews. Like Ryan McCaffrey probably plays on Xboxes when he's at his job, but he probably plays on the PlayStation or plays on PC when he's at home. I know Dustin Legary doesn't play on console anymore because all he does is play Destiny on PC. He's playing Anthem right now. He's streaming it. Guess where he's streaming it at? On
PC.
PC. So
But
the
even
fact that
Mikey Barra plays PC.
well, you know what I'm saying? You got a VP at Microsoft putting out tweets saying, "Hey, Anthem's going to be the best place to play console games on Xbox," and then on the next breath, but I'll be playing it on PC. So, so what does that even tell you, man? It's people are reading way too much into this shit. Me personally, when I laughed when I saw the video, because Dealer put the video up, and I laughed at it as he was, you know, basically clickbaiting their own fucking video that they put up. And I was like, this is funny as hell. But guess what? I don't expect no more from it. The fact that they're up here talking about the game and the way they're talking about the game is they're just not fucking impressed. And guess what? They probably weren't impressed in the game before they even, it wasn't even a game they probably were impressed with or even um, anticipating before the game even released. So if you're not thinking, if the game isn't a game that you really want to play, are you really going to be that enthusiastic about it, playing the game, the final build of the game? So what? I mean, you really didn't give a care about the game in the first place, but you just have to cover it because it's the next big game coming out for Xbox. And we all know right now the biggest, the news is Crackdown3 is a piece of crap, and you shouldn't buy it. It is paying $1 for Game Pass even worth the subscription fee for a game like that.
You know what's
So
interesting? You know what's interesting? You bring up Game Pass. Somebody on Twitter brought up a great point. Let me see if I can pull up his tweet. Give me a second here, man. Oh my God! All right, so slow mo or Forte, you there?
yeah, I'm
We
here.
lost him. Oh, okay. So here's the thing, man. Look, I'm not trying to call anyone out here. So I'm actually going to not use his name, but somebody responded to um, my response to this whole thing of the criticism of um, that Crackdown 3 looks like a 360 game, right? And Slow-Mo brought up. I think Slow-Mo brought up a good point in the DM. I don't know if you read what he
I
said.
read it. I read it.
And so I agree with Slow-Mo. I was like, are we saying that an IP can never look better because of the art direction? You know?
Yep.
And I said, imagine taking taking that thought process with Uncharted, Halo, The Last of Us, etc. Somebody responds to me, why is it not okay for a game to have a look for any gen? Okay. A
Right.
game does not need to look like Halo, Gears, God of War, Uncharted to be a good looking, fun game. Xbox, someone never said CD3 was going to be a first party AAA like game. CD has always been an arcade shooter sandbox game on a budget.
Right.
Okay.
So let me just touch on that first part. This is so I don't think about the words they're using. I'm thinking about between the lines in the conversation that people are having with themselves about this thing. Once again, are you excited to play Crackdown 3? Yes or no? If it's no, you don't give a care about how the graphics look. It's not going to be appealing to you any damn way. If it was this is the funny thing. If Crackdown 3 was a great game, and people were super excited for the game to come out and actually play it, do you think graphics would really matter? We don't play games with shitty graphics before. Games that had graphics that were worse than some of the graphics that were back in the original 360 days and shit. So these people don't realize that it has nothing to do with the way the game looks. It's all about people feel like the game hasn't done enough to impress them to want to go out of their way and play the game. And the fact that this game has had negative press around it for like the last year and a half to 2 years because Microsoft literally just hasn't shown the game in a great light. lets you know that that's what the situation is. The game is, dude. The game has actually looked better in some of their demoing. Like I think the game looked better when they showed it off at Gamescom when they had people up there playing the game that didn't even know how to play the game. The game actually looked better then to me now compared to what we saw. Now this is multiplayer footage that we're seeing from IGN. So, and I didn't even look at the single player footage of it, but I saw the multiplayer. It looks like Crackdown, and does it look like 360 graphics? I mean, debatable. I mean, it probably borrows a lot of the assets from what the 360 version looked like, but who really cares? Because if the game was great, people wouldn't give a fuck about how the game looked. And that's the whole thing. People just don't care about Crackdown. And guess what? When you don't care about something and you're in this so-called community of people that want to judge games by a book by its cover, and if you don't like people that's on another platform and you want to just bring them down even further, you're going to say, hey, that game's trash. They look at 360 game. I don't know why you're excited for old-ass games because you know that's what they're going to bring up. Because you know that's what they're going to bring up. They're going to bring up Microsoft is doing backwards compatibility, and guess what? Crackdown 3 is another backwards compatible game because it looks like a 360 game. So that's the conversation that's going to be for the rest of this until that game comes out and everybody gets it in there, on their system and play it for themselves. And that's honestly the goddamn truth.
I'll say this: I do think that it looks like kind of like Crackdown 2, a more polished, probably. So it looks like, to me, it looks like a 360 game. But I don't think it's anything wrong saying that. Like, it's not. It doesn't mean that someone's not going to like the game.
Right.
But this whole thing of like this, oh well, not every game needs to look like Halo. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying it needs to look like Halo. But I mean, why is it? Why? Let me ask you something, Forte. Why is it out of the realm of possibility, or why is it hard for people to understand that some gamers have an expectation that when we spend $500 on new hardware, we want to see improvements, in gameplay, in graphics, in art style, in AI. Why is that so hard for people to understand?
It's not hard to explain, but guess what? It's hard for people to grasp onto that knowledge of that, just because we know what Crackdown 3 has been for the last 2 years. We've seen it multiple times in different lights. We've seen it look better. We've seen it look worse. We've seen all of these different spectrums of how the game is actually going to be, the presentation of the game is going to be. So we knew that it wasn't going to change. The whole question was Microsoft going to get the whole cloud infrastructure down with the destructible environments and stuff? That was the biggest conversation of all of it. So the fact that people, yes, you do want to have better graphics, you want to have revolutionary improvements on the game that you're playing. But guess what? We knew 2 years ago when we saw Crackdown that this shit wasn't gonna have that. We knew it was gonna be a Crackdown game. They came out and said that if you love Crackdown, that's what this game's gonna be. They never even gave us any new features and said, hey, these are the new features that are gonna come in Crackdown. What was the new feature in God of War that they just touted about from the day that game was announced? What was the one thing they said is a new feature for God of War?
Couldn't jump.
Yeah, that too. But it couldn't jump, and it had the third person's perspective, right?
Third person, yes, yeah.
But we knew about that literally when they announced the game. We knew about that at the moment the game was announced because everybody was like, whoa, this looks way different. They even talked about why they did it. They talked about everybody was complaining about the jump mechanic, but we knew about all that stuff well before the game released. What did we know about Crackdown 3 other than the destructible environments about this game? And that was something that they didn't even know if they could get into the game into the final build until recently. But what else did we know about this game to say that, oh, this game is going to be revolutionary. They're going to bring something different to the table that Crackdown 2 and Crackdown 1 didn't bring. The only thing they did was make the world bigger.
Yeah. Well, the big push with Crackdown 3 was the cloud. You're right. I mean, it was, yeah. It's just funny. Like this comment of why is it not okay for a game to have a look from any gen? For me, that's not. No one's saying that's not.
Well, because Borderlands is probably the easiest one to compare it to, and there is a distinct difference between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, and that was in the same generation.
And that's my point. Like, why do we have to be, for a $60 game, why do we have to be okay with, like, to me, if you're charging $60, no one should be okay with something looking last gen. That's just my opinion. Like, I mean, $60 is $60. I mean, shit. We pay. See, and look at it like this, Forte. Like I pay $60 for other games, right?
Uh-huh.
I just paid $80 for Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't look like Kingdom Hearts 2. I mean,
That's
it's got the same art style, but it
that's
looks like
true.
it looks like a current gen game.
Hey
So
man, Mass Effect 2 doesn't look nowhere near like Mass Effect 1.
Mass Effect 2 was a massive improvement from Mass Effect 1. I mean, right?
It's why it's the GOAT.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
Oh Lord, here we go. We're not gonna have that argument today.
Well, I don't. You know, two. Actually, you know, 2 might be the GOAT because Martin Sheen was a voice actor in that game. So
Yeah, he was, but that has nothing to do with it being a GOAT.
let me tell you something, man. I actually had a chance to do a podcast with Mike Laidlaw.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh yeah, man. I asked him. I said, dude, what was it like to work with Martin Sheen? Guy goes, he was the ultimate. Said he was the ultimate professional.
Had to be interesting.
Yes, it was the ultimate professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who you beeping at? You road raging, man?
No, I'm at work. I'm keeping out the car.
Oh, you at work now?
I started at 3:30 today.
I got you. All right.
No, but for real though, honestly, this is what I think about the whole situation. I feel like, yes, you are absolutely right. People shouldn't be. They should. I mean, not shouldn't, but they should expect more from a $60 purchase. But guess what? Everybody's gonna say, the damage controlling out there is gonna be, well, you can get it for Game Pass for $1. Doesn't matter. But people are gonna look at it like it's okay for Crackdown to be a 360 game because you can get it for $1 in Game Pass right now. Even when it's not on sale, you get it for 10. So I already see where this conversation is gonna, turn to over the next 2 to 3 weeks as the game finally gets into more people's hands.
Yeah.
So sucks to suck, but I don't know why people are expecting more out of the game that Microsoft didn't even expect to, they didn't even expect enough out of to give us any marketing for, really.
Yeah. It's interesting. You bring up Game Pass. I think the Warrior War tweeted something out like something to the effect like people are almost using. Is it okay to use Game Pass as an excuse for bad games?
Well, I guess we'll find out in the next. We'll find out in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, look. Game Pass should never be excused for bad games. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if it's 50 cents a month. That should not. You should never set that precedent with any company, because that's what they're going to give you because you're okaying that behavior. Well, that's just my 2 cents, man. So
our door's broke. Oh, you should. Oh, yeah.
Forte, you're not gonna start firing anyone, are you?
You said what?
You're not gonna start firing anyone, are you?
No. Why?
I don't know. You said the door's broke.
Well, that's because the concrete rose up because it's so cold outside.
Oh man, that cold?
Negative 70 or 40? I mean,
right now?
No, 2 days ago.
Did you have to go to work?
I'm here now.
No, I'm saying like when it was negative 40, did you have to go to work?
Yeah, man, they closed us down. Kingdom Hearts came out, remember?
Was there a lot of people for Kingdom Hearts?
We had like 70 people here in the middle of the code.
Oh man, which version sold the most?
A PlayStation, of course.
Interesting.
I was surprised how many Xbox versions we had on pre-order though. We had a lot.
Yeah, the excuse me, the GameStop by my house, they said they had a lot of Xbox pre-orders.
I'm gonna give you a snapshot of something. Was he something?
Yeah.
So let's see. Turn this. Turn the camera. Turn. There it is. So that's how many PlayStations I have. You see that?
Wow.
That's how many PlayStations I have. That's how many Xboxes I have. Just to let you know.
Well, I mean, look, man. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, Sony's what gonna? They say they're on pace now with the PS2. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
it's crazy.
no one could fault them for having a, I mean, they're good at this.
Yeah.
So, but all right, Forte, I'm gonna go. I know you're at work. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this rant too. But hey, man, thanks for dropping in, man. It was good having you on the chat.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, guys, if you play Crackdown, don't go in expecting anything that Microsoft didn't expect from it themselves. Because they didn't expect it to do well because they didn't even want to give you a trailer. And I guarantee you, if there's no trailer at the Super Bowl tomorrow, they definitely don't care about this game.
Well, they are doing a like Xbox. What's it called? What's the show they do, Forte?
Are they doing an Inside Xbox tomorrow?
Yeah, and it's
Who's
going to
going
be
to
all
watch
about
that during Super Bowl Sunday?
It's going to be all about Crackdown.
Who's going to watch that?
Oh, I don't know if it's tomorrow. I know it's. Is it tomorrow or is it?
It better not be tomorrow.
No, I think it's Monday, maybe.
Oh Lord, I'll be watching all the different sports talk shows talking about how Tom Brady's even more of a GOAT than he ever was.
Oh God, you know what? And he's not even going to retire, man. That bastard.
Nope, he's going to go for. He wants 8 rings, bro.
He wants 8 rings.
He wants 8. That
means,
what, 3 more years?
He's going to look like Joe Theismann.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm here. You guys have a great week. Enrique, I'll see you later on tonight online. I got a couple of things to send you for those graphics you want, so I'll send them out to you tonight.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Hey, what about the Kingdom Hearts thing?
Oh, talk about this. Here, I got one right here. I'll send.
Yeah, was I supposed to get one of those?
That was only for people that pre-ordered it.
Oh, see, I didn't get that.
But I got extra ones, so I'll send you one.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Those posters that I have from the McFarlane posters?
Yeah.
The Titanfall and the Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Those were sent for me from somebody who used to work at GameStop.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff, man. A bunch of posters that he sent me, man. Like a bunch of some like you guys get like the marketing posters and stuff for games. Yeah, I got a bunch of that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Forte, man.
I'm about to go out here and piss off a bunch of people by wearing all Patriot gear today.
Oh, you really are wearing all Patriot. Come on, man.
Time, baby. Time.
Yeah.
And tomorrow will be even worse because I wear the jersey to work tomorrow.
Oh no, that's not good.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right, Forte. Thanks for stopping in, man.
No problem.
See you, man.
Yep.
All right, everyone. So, hey, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this BRAP rant. Went a little bit longer than I initially anticipated, but hey, thanks everyone for coming out and watching this rant. You know what? Again, guys, I tell you, I'm gonna come out and do cover some other topics with the rants. Yeah, we talk about politics, sports, relationships, all that fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that. But anyhow, everyone, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your video games. Hopefully, you guys are playing the Anthem beta. You guys can get in. I think they're still having server issues. I tried to get in. I got in today, got kicked out, couldn't get back in. So I'm gonna try again here shortly. But anyways, everyone in the live chat, thank you for stopping in. Big shout out to everyone. Much love. And what's going on here? Well, what do you mean the formula mechanics? When it comes to live updates, I don't know. Forte. Okay. There's a conversation going on here. I missed the conversation in the live chat. All right, guys. I got to run, but hey, great seeing you guys in live chat. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Hey, if you haven't done so, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification to get notified when new content comes up and when we go live. Other than that, catch you guys soon. Peace.